Good morning, my little dumpster fire babies. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Even if this is not your first time here, you've been here a time or two, and you still have not yet hit that subscribe button or click the little bell, I invite you all to do so. Don't forget, if you like to enjoy this video, this type of content, give this video a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and let's dive on into another day, another testing out new makeup. I don't have like tons and tons and tons now. I'm starting to get down to the bare minimum of what I've got, but that is okay. That means I can start ordering more and not feel guilty. All right, so what do we have to try out today? I have my hands on this Makeup by Mario. This is the Surreal Skin Foundation. I am so excited to be able to try this. I do like a lot of products from Makeup by Mario, so I am really excited. In a minute. It looks like there's like glitter in here. I don't know if you can tell on like camera or not. Yes. Do you see that? There's glitter in here. Okay. Okay. All right. Then from Kaja, we have this cheek stamp. So you've got like the cheeky stamp here. It's in the shape of a heart. And then down at the bottom, you're going to have the blush. Very innovative packaging. I'm excited to try this out. Then from J-Cat Beauty, we have the You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter. And then we've got a couple different lip products. So we have a lip liner from Clarity Cosmetics, a lipstick from Makeup Forever, and a lip gloss from Makeup by Mario. And then finally, we will be testing out this palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is Grind the Deity, which is like this really pretty, like orangish type of color story. So I am so excited. We also have one last thing from Kaleidos. We're going to try out another one of their like eyeliners, so we can do like a little scoop in the thing. I don't know. I think it could be cute. So if you guys are excited to see what look I create, how I would rank these products, what I think of them, then definitely keep on watching. I personally like to start off with my eyes first. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive on into this Grind palette. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here. This is called Zest. So I'm just going to pick a little bit of that up on a brush. I will say there's not a lot of kick up in this pan at all. So if you don't like kick up, then you don't have to worry about it with that shade for sure. Again, it's really nice, really pigmented, blends beautifully, just easy to just, you know, build up and go. I'm next going to go into the shade right here. This is called Grind. Just going to take a little bit of that on my brush. This shade, however, does have quite a bit of kick up, whereas the other one did not. So right now we're 50-50 on the kick up in the pan, but I'm not really experiencing any fallout onto the face. Again, nice and pigmented, blends easily. It's not muddy or anything like that. It literally just blends so easily and effortlessly into the eyes, onto the lid. Woof. Then for the outer corner, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Hustle. This one also has, you know, a pretty good amount of kick up as well. And we're just going to pack that onto the outer corner. Now that I'm kind of putting them onto the lids, I mean, you can definitely tell that like the shade that we went in with before is different, but I almost feel like they're kind of similar in a way that I kind of would have appreciated it being like, maybe like a little bit deeper maybe. I don't know. Y'all can hear my animals eating. It's breakfast time for them all. The cat, the dogs. They're all just like, hello, I'm hungry. Thank you, ma'am. I have now NYX glitter glue primed my eyelids. We're going to go on into, let's do this shade right here. This is called Motivate. Hold on, is this actually a shimmer or is this a matte with like shimmer properties? Okay, yeah, it's a shimmer. So I'm going to start with that. Kind of tap that onto the lid. Okay. Alright, it's not bad. It's not awful. It's a little bit deeper than I was really wanting, shimmer wise, for on the eyes. But I might be able to remedy that, I think. So I have this Kaja stack. So I'm going to take a little bit of this middle shade. I don't know. These are all just called Orange Blossom. So I don't think each shade has like an individual name. And I'm just going to go on top of that shade. All right. I think that saved it, you know, quite a bit. So I'm going to now take this Kaleidos. This is in the shade. Oh, I hate trying to read these. Solaris. It's just kind of like more of like a orangish type shade. And I'm just going to put that in like the inner portion of my eye. Oh, okay. It's a little bit deeper than I was expecting. So now I'm ready to move right on into the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. Mine is in 1 Cool. So again, it comes with a pump. It's in a glass bottle. But it looks like there's like like glitter particles in here. Okay, all right. So here's like a pump and a fourth. I'm going to, I don't really notice a lot of glitter or anything while it's on the back of my hand. Ooh, but it's there. Okay. So I'm just gonna start taking this and stippling this into my face. I don't really notice a whole lot of a scent to it at all. Yeah, like none at all. Oh, I hate baby hairs. I hate baby hairs. Okay. Okay. All right. First and foremost, it is sinking into the skin. So that's at least a positive. So I would say a full pump is probably all that I need for my like really dry skin. I don't feel like I need any more than that. I feel like this is kind of a medium coverage. You can definitely still see, you know, some bits and pieces of like my redness. Let me see if you can build this up any. I don't want to build it up a lot. So I'm just going to like dab just like the tiniest of dots. I want to focus this right where like my redness is the worst. So on my cheek area. Okay. Did that cover it up? It looks like it did on the other side. Okay, yeah, there we go. You know, it does provide, you know, it does kind of add more coverage. I don't find it to be like, you know, when I added that extra layer, too thick and heavy. This is a very glowy foundation. I don't know. Yeah, it does have a little bit of some like shine, like glitter specks. It's not like a ton like you see in the bottle, but you can definitely see some little sparks here and there. This is very, very glowy. This is very glowy. I don't know if it's glowy and tacky. Now we're going to try this Kaja cheek stamp. So I need to remove this little film before using. So hold on here. Okay. And this is in the shade, does it say? Saucy. Okay. So you're supposed to take this heart-shaped thing and you like push it into here. And then you just like stamp it onto your face. Okay. Okay. So there's one stamp each. I'm not sure how you're supposed to keep it sanitary. Maybe it's just not meant to be sanitary. I don't know. Okay. Does it? Okay. It provides a little bit of like color to the cheeks, but like it's not a lot. Okay, so let's try let's try another layer. Let's take this happy-go-lucky heart-shaped little thing. It's like, okay. Whoa, almost dropped it. That could have been a disaster. Okay. Okay, I added some extra stamping. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Okay, yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's still not like a ton of color. Like it does provide some color, but again, it's just like not a lot. You'd have to really layer this up if you wanted something a lot more punchy than this, because it's just not looking much different. I mean, you know, you have a little bit of color, but it's just not like a ton. I honestly thought I was filming this whole time for the lower lash line. Honestly, all I did was just take the two darker oranges and just smoke it on my lash line. For the inner corner, I want to go into this Kaja stack again. I want to use this top shade. So let me see if I can get it to pick up on a brush, which I can. And I want to kind of go over this part as well, kind of lighten it just like a little bit, where it still provides like some, you know, something a little bit different. Just because I didn't realize it was going to be like as dark as it is. You live and you learn. Okay, you live and you learn, period. We're now going to go ahead and we're going to dive on into this J Cat You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter. Mine is in the shade what the heck? Seaside Frost. Hi. I will say, like, it looks like it's like an opal, but then it's like gold at the same time. So I hope this isn't like too dark, because this was the lightest one that they had. So I will cry if it's like too dark. I don't know. It could be. It could be. Nope. It is definitely like more of like an icy, like white or like opal shade than it is more of like that gold. And it just has like a little bit of like a gold shift to it, which makes it really pretty. But I don't feel like it's like overbearing or anything like that. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to move on into some lips. So the first thing that we have is we're going to have this from Clarity Cosmetics. This is a lip liner in the shade. Oh no, it's on the bottom. Okay, Bourbon. Took a minute. But we found it. So then now that I've got the lips line kind of filled in a little bit, I'm going to now take this Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Intense Color Beautifying Lipstick in the shade Burning Clay. And we're just going to fill that in kind of in the center. Then the last part that we have is the Makeup by Mario gloss, which I can't find now. It was literally right in front of me. I mean, of course it was. And this is going to be in the shade Golden Nude. And I'm just going to throw this right on top. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Pretty, it's thin, but really hydrating, very, very glossy. Has like a nice, like, kind of like fruity scent to it, but it's not strong, it's not overpowering, it's really, really, really light. So I really like this lip with this eye look. So here is the completed and final look, testing out some new makeup. We can do a little bit of a close-up. The skin is looking pretty good, pretty decent. I do have a lot of texture, especially in this area, which is why I use like a more of a pore filling primer. But other than that, I think the rest of the face looks really, really good. So let's go ahead and let's get into the ranking. We are now going to rank all of these products from my least favorite to my most favorite, with an explanation of why I love it or why I don't. So let's go ahead, let's hop on in. First and last place is going to be this Kaja cheek stamp. I think like this is like cutesy and fun, but like this is something I would probably give like my 9-year-old daughter to like be cutesy and fun with, just because one, yeah, it's got like the heart shape, it's cutesy, it's fun, okay, but even with like building it a few different times, it just didn't get to the level of pigment or intensity that I really wanted. It's just very, very, very sheer. If you are new to cream products and you're just like, oh, I would love something super sheer that I have to build up, and even when you're trying to build it up, it takes a long time for it to build up, you'll like this. Next up is going to be the Clarity Lip Liner in Bourbon. This is a very creamy, nice formula to it. I will say though, I did try swatching a couple of the other ones because I did purchase others, but these are so creamy that the tips on these other two like easily just like snapped right off, and so I'd have to like resharpen them. Like I don't mind like creamy, and also the staying power isn't that great, but I don't mind like creamy lip liners. Like I prefer a creamy lip liner, but I don't want one that's going to be so creamy that it's just like breaking all the time and I have to be like super gentle. Like I'm trying to just like line my lips and go. I'm not trying to sit here and baby it. Okay, like that's just me. You know, and then again, like the staying power just like isn't that great. Next up is going to be this Makeup Forever lipstick, Rouge Artist lipstick. Number one, I think this is really beautiful. It's comfortable. I don't have any issues. Like the shade is pigmented. The only reason why it's ranked lower is I'm just not super into like lipsticks. I am more into like liquid lipsticks and maybe pairing it with a gloss or something. But for the most part, I'm not reaching into lipsticks a ton. Next up is going to be this Kaleidos eyeliner. Here, the thing is, I really liked the green one that I tried. This one, I did lighten it up, you know, with that inner corner shade. So I like that more. This was just like, I don't know, a little bit deeper than I was expecting. I don't know what exactly I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like a lighter orange, like that. But it's more like this. So that's kind of where the shift is more catching, is it's that deeper and darker one. So for me, this just isn't the color for me. But I do love this formula, and I love how well it stays. I love the shifts, the color pigment, things like that. This is really good. This just isn't the color for me. Next up is going to be the Makeup by Mario gloss. Again, I think it was like it's a very thin gloss, but it provides really good shine. It provides like hydration. It provides smoothness. It's not sticky. It's a really, really good gloss. Again, I'm just not much of a gloss type person. I'm just not. Next up is going to be this from JCat, the You Glow Girl. This is like surprisingly, like JCat's a really cheap brand, and this is a phenomenal highlighter. For it being as cheap as it is, like this rivals like some really good like high-end ones for like literally a fraction of the cost. It's really nice. You can build it up to include some like a lot of intensity like me, or what, you know, or you could just like, you know, tone it down for more like a lit from within, whatever the case. Next up is going to be the palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. Again, I really like the mattes. I like the look that I created. A good portion of my issue is kind of within the shimmers. This is the only like orangish shade. You've got like a pinky shade. You've got like a like matte, like not a matte, a brown and purple type shimmer. You have this right here, which is like a lighter like green and gold, and then you have this right here, which is like a green. I would have wished there would have been something kind of like this, but these are definitely more topperish shades versus, you know, ones that you're really going to see super well on the eye. I would have appreciated something that was just like a little bit lighter for like the orange, because there are a lot of orange mattes. Like there's not like a ton of greens, browns, or anything like that. Like literally it's all oranges and then one green. So I would have really appreciated like instead of this shade, that being like a lighter orange shade that is actually like really good and shimmery, not like a topperish type shade that has more of like a black base. That would have made me happier. But overall, I'm impressed with the palette. I really like Unearthly Cosmetics. If you like really pretty oranges kind of tones, you're really gonna like this palette. Next up, in second place, is going to be the Makeup by Mario foundation. When I first saw this out of the box and I saw that it had glitter in it, I was panicking. I was 100% panicking. And then I was like, oh, this is going to emphasize my texture a whole lot. Like, this is not going to be good. It does emphasize your texture. Like, let me just say that. But it just holds its glow. even after I've sat it with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. Wow, Carrington. So it's really, really beautiful. I love like the glowiness that it gives. I love how it just sinks into the skin. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It doesn't look heavy on the skin. You know, this is what my skin looks like even after like setting it with powder. Like, so I don't know how well you're gonna like this if you have oily skin. I have dry skin, like very dry skin, like holy Santa Barbara, California dry skin, like hello Sahara Desert. Like there is nothing oily about my skin. It's just dry. So I really like that. So that brings me to number 1. It's this little Kaja stack. This little Kaja stack is good. I used I used the shade right here to like add to the lid, and then I used this top shade right here for like the inner corner and to kind of lighten up the little thing, the little swoopity boopity, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, something like that. And then there's one that we didn't try, which is kind of more of like a brownish type color, but I think these are really, really pretty. I don't ever hear anybody talking about them, but they do have such like a beautiful, just like glittery shine to it that I find really, really pretty on the eyes. Like this is the kind of shimmers that like I'm talking about. Like we could have had the second one right here be like the overall, like the orange option that could have been in the Unearthly palette that wasn't. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you all did, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. If you have not yet hit that subscribe button, but you enjoy talking about makeup, testing new makeup, letting you know what's worth your money or what is not worth your money, then definitely make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button and click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads. Go follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!